This is a tutorial to teach you how to register a student to take a TABE test. After logging in to DRC Insight and clicking on All Applications, you will click on Test Management and then Manage Test Sessions. At this point, let me explain your objectives. You're going to, number 1, locate the test you want to register your student to take. Number 2, find your student or add him as a new student. And number 3, complete the registration and print his test ticket. Your objective is never to schedule a new test. So on this screen, the administration and district will already be pre-filled for you, but you will need to designate the county. All instructors have been assigned a testing county from our consolidated campuses. You will choose from Baldwin, Choctaw, Clark, Escambia, Marengo, and Monroe. Then click Show Sessions. Your test sessions will then be visible, though you will have to scroll through them to see them all. There is a 10 and 9 complete battery that includes the locator test. There are also individual tests for each level in each subject area for both forms 9 and 10. To view the list alphabetically, just click on the session name column. To reverse the order, click on it again. Once you have located the test you want your student to take, and in this case, I want them to take the TABE 10 with the locator and all of the tests, click on the select box of the appropriate test. Then you'll go to the first action icon. In this case, it is View Edit, and click on it. On the next window that you see, you need to remember that you will never edit this top portion. These specifics of the test have been set. You will only set the student up for the test, not create a new test session. The first thing you'll do is click on Find Student to check to see if your student is already in the database. A list of available students not registered for the test will appear in this window. If he is in the database, then his name is going to appear in the available students list. If he does not appear in this window, then you need to click on New Student to add him to the system. This will open up a new window for you to fill out. You'll include their last name, their first name. For their student ID, if you know their ASAP number, please fill this in as their ASAP number. If they don't have one yet because they are a new student, you can fill this in later. For the student details, the administration and district and the school that you have been assigned to will show up. You'll add their date of birth. Adult is already in the grade, and then you'll put their gender. The other tabs in this window are accommodations, demographics, student groups, and testing codes. Testing codes are not available to us, but you can go to accommodations and give the student extended time for any of the tests that you plan on giving him. And we don't give the surveys, so you'll want to just give it to the complete batteries and the locator. Demographics has information that you are welcome to fill in. And student groups, if your program has made any student groups, you can assign the student to whatever groups you guys have created. And like I said, testing codes are not available. So once you have filled in these details, you will click Save. In this case, I'm going to click Cancel since I haven't actually created someone. But you would click on the Save. Once you've done that, you will need to click on Find Students again so that your student will appear in the available student spots. When you do that, you'll see that, and we're just going to fake one here. We're going to say that Matt Dillon was just added. So you will click on the student that you want to add to take this particular test. You will go to the right facing arrow and click it to add him to the session. Now, you won't see his name here because there happens to be 2 Matt Dillons in the system. Obviously, they're fake. But you will see them on the left-hand side. You will click the right arrow and he will appear on the right-hand side in the students registered for this session. Once you've done that, you'll click on Save. And I'm just going to pretend that I'm clicking Save. So you click Saved, and it's going to say, yes, this was saved. And this is going to take you back to the session details. And you'll notice that the test that you registered the student for is still highlighted. You will want to print a ticket for the student now from this window. If you go over to the action icons and go to Edit Print Ticket Status and click on that, it's going to take you to a new window where you will select your student. You can search for him, but until we get a lot of students in the system, there's not going to be that many. So if Matt Dillon is the student that we're wanting a test ticket for, you will click on the select box. And the easiest thing to do is just to move down here to Print Selected and click it. Once you've clicked on Print Selected, it is going to print the ticket for that particular student. And in this case, it's Matt Dillon. You'll get 2 pages. One will be a test roster page that includes his information for you to keep for your files. And the other page will be the actual test ticket that you are welcome to cut out to give for him. But it shows you what his username is and his password, and that will be used for him to actually take the test that you have registered him for. From this window where you see the test ticket, you will want to print directly from here to get the 2 pages. I'm not going to print it because I don't need it, so I'm going to hit cancel. And once you printed the ticket, you can just close this window. You printed the ticket and you're basically done with this part of the test registration. When your student is ready to take the test, seat him at a computer that has the DRC Insight icon downloaded on the desktop and have him click on the icon. Once he does that, he will see a sign-in window where he will input his username and his password. And remember, there are no access codes for this new version of TABE, just the username and password. So once he fills this in exactly like it shows on the ticket, he will click Sign In. Once he signs in, the next window will not look like this. He'll actually get a window that shows the 9-10 on the left-hand side and the 11-12 test on the right-hand side. He will need to click 9-10 since we do not have access to the 11-12 yet. So after he clicks on the 9-10 TABE test, he will then see a window like this. I'm sorry it's so hard to see, but I had to take a picture of one of the computers that has the testing software in it. So he will see all the tests that he's registered to take, the tests that you just scheduled him to take. Now, if you notice there's a lot of tests here. Not just is the locator test and the complete battery of all the subjects that I registered the student to take, but for each one of these tests, there is a set of sample items. So if your student is new to online testing, you probably are going to want to give him these sample items so that he can be a little bit more prepared to take the test itself. If you notice, the locator test sample items have click here by them, and the locator test language, the locator test math computation, the locator test applied math, and the locator test reading are the only ones that say click here next to them, because it is requiring them, obviously, to take the locator test first so that his regular subject areas will be pre-assigned in the level that he tests from the locator. So you can give him the chance to practice on sample items, and then he can begin by taking the different sections of the locator test itself. Once he does that, then each particular subject area will have a click here beside it, as well as their sample questions. And I'll leave it up to all of you to decide how much you want a student to do for the sample questions. You know, if you have someone who's been with us a while and has been doing a lot of online testing, he probably doesn't need to do the sample items. Now, once you have given him the test and he has gone through all of the tests that you have assigned him, which will probably take a couple of days, then you will want to go back and print a report so that you can have the results of this particular student's tests. Let me just give you one reminder, and that is that each specific test must be completed in one sitting. So if a student begins a test, he must finish it that day in the time allotted. He cannot return the next day to complete it, though he can return the next day to begin another test on his list. I just wanted to mention that as a reminder. Now, the student has taken his test, let's say, and you are back on your computer and you want to print out a report of his assessments. So we're going to go back to our DRC Insight Administration website, click on All Applications, and then click on Report Delivery. Once you're in the Report Delivery section, you will want to click on On-Demand Reports. Once the On-Demand Reports window comes up, you'll see that the administration section is pre-filled again, so is the district, and then you will need to click on the appropriate school again. Now, I'm going to actually click on Clark County because right now that's the only one that has a student's results. Once you click on the appropriate school, you will also need to click on the appropriate report. And you're going to always want to click on Individual Profile. That's the one that's going to give you the most detailed report of the the tests that your student took. Now, if you want to search for a particular student, you can fill in the rest of the information, the last name, the first name, etc. If you have his ASAP number, you can plug that in. But again, if we don't have a lot of students in the system at the moment, it won't be too hard to find your student from the list. So as it is, I'm just going to leave this blank, and I'm going to click on Find Students. And our particular student results is Miss Tweety Bird. So I'm going to click on the box under the Select option. And then I'm going to come over to the action icon that says Save PDF. I click on that. And a new window will come up with the actual PDF of your student's report. As you can see, it's got a little bit more information than the reports from the old tape. You've got mastery levels. You have a little bit more information about the areas of each test that they missed questions in. And you can use this, of course, to establish their POI in their folder. So now you have successfully completed registering and testing a student and printing out their test ticket. To actually print the test ticket, you will need to click on the print icon that you will see on the PDF. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will try to help you.